Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for this week's video, I figured because we are in the hottest months of the year here in Florida, it is literally over 100 degrees. I thought it would be perfect to go ahead and let you all know exactly what I do so that my makeup stays intact and in place even on the hottest days here. I have just a few very simple tips and tricks, and I explain those all further in the video, but I hope that you enjoy this video and I hope you find it really helpful, because I know that when I found out these tips and discovered this, that it made my makeup last on a lot longer, which is great. We love that. But be sure to like and subscribe before you leave, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can get a notification of every new video that I post. I'll also be leaving my Instagram handle down below because it is the first week of July, which means I will be starting a new series on my Instagram. Not necessarily a series, but I just will be posting more on my Instagram, more related to makeup and videos. So I'm really excited about that. So go ahead and be sure to follow me on Instagram to check that out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, I already have my eyebrows on and I did carve them out with some concealer. I did use this iconic London Sculpt and Boost eyebrow cushion. I absolutely love this stuff. Plus, I also feel like this is it's not advertised as waterproof, but it stays on for good. You know, especially while you're sweating. I've worn it to dance auditions and I have felt that my eyebrows have stayed on. So that's great. So we're gonna start by moisturizing the skin, because I'm gonna be using a moisturizer that has SPF in it. This is the Confidence in a Cream Transforming Moisturizing Super Cream. It's an anti-aging armor. And I know it has SPF in it, I just don't know how much, but we're gonna use this first. Okay, now that I have that moisturizer on, I'm gonna go in with my strongest pore filling primer, and that is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. This primer is strong. Now I'm gonna put this in the areas of my face where I feel like I perspirate the very most. I'm not a huge face sweater, but when I do sweat, it's in these general areas, especially up on my forehead. I feel like that's where I sweat the most. So I'm gonna go heavy in the forehead. I think having those pores nice and filled in definitely helps, and you won't be sweating as much. So now I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This is a thicker foundation, but I generally think that using a thicker foundation is also gonna help keep your makeup on your face. I think if you were to use something like a CC cream regardless just doesn't have as long wear as necessarily like a matte foundation would. So okay, so now concealer. We're gonna go in with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Just gonna do the same thing. Concealer, it's really nothing out of the ordinary. If you sweat underneath your eyes, then what I would say is to opt for baking your under eyes. That will also help a lot if you're an under eye sweater, which, I mean, I've never met anybody that's an under eye sweater, but if you are, being sure to bake under your eyes, which is what I'll be doing. I'll be showing you all of that. Okay, so if you're an under eye sweater, I would highly recommend this step. I am not, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways to show you all. It's just baking underneath your eyes. I'm gonna go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in the color Transparent, and just pressing in the powder. So just making sure you press it in rather than just leave it sitting on top of your skin, and leaving it there for just a tad bit baking, because that'll really, really lock it into place. Okay, so now for the rest of my face, I'm gonna be going in with this powder right here. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and this is in Fair Light. So what I'm gonna be doing with this, I'm gonna go ahead and tap a whole lot into the lid. So we're using quite a bit. So now I'm gonna take the bottom part of my Beauty Blender, and what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna just going into the powder and pressing this all over my skin. So this powder doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of color payoff. And even if it lightens up your foundation, anyways, my foundation was too dark for me, but even if it did lighten up your foundation, that's something that you could easily fix with your bronzer. But what this step is doing is, honestly, it is like cementing my foundation onto my skin. So this is really, really gonna help with maintaining a full face of makeup all day. Okay, now that my foundation is quite literally like cemented onto my skin, I want to bring some liveliness back to my face, because I'm using a full face of matte products because I feel like those are the best for a very, very hot summer day. I do want to make my skin appear dewy, so we're gonna go ahead and do that with some highlighter and bronzer. So let's get started with that. So I actually want to start by going in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Now, this is a matte bronzer, but it has a very, very light sheen to it. So that'll also help me bring a little bit of dew back into my skin, because I already have dry skin as it is. That's why I moisturize ahead of time. So I'd rather give the appearance that I have dewy skin. Okay, now that we have that bronzer on, I'm gonna go into highlight. I'm gonna go in with the Milani Baked Blush Highlight in Luminoso. This is a very, very luminous blush. I mean, it's in the name. Here, I'll swatch it for you. I don't know if you can see that right there, but it does have some sheen to it. So this is going to, again, bring a little bit of that dew back into my skin. And color as well. Then we're gonna run that down the tip of the nose and the very tip top of the forehead. Gives me that sun-kissed look whenever I put it on my nose. I quite enjoy that. Okay, now for highlight, I'm gonna be going into the Wet n Wild Hustle and Glow Loose Highlighting Powder. This is a very, very bronzy highlight. I'm gonna swatch that for you. I have a bunch of swatches on my hand right now, but it's that one right there. I don't know if you can see that. It is very golden, very bronzy. So I'm going to be going in with this, and I'm going in with a fluffier brush because I want a more diffused look, because rather than looking like a highlight, it just looks like my foundation is glowy or dewy. Just to complete my look, I went and I added some lashes and lip gloss off camera. But the final step for this video, my final tip of the video, will be to set your makeup with setting spray. This is so important. And my all-time favorite, I have like mascara all over my hands from putting my lashes on. Just ignore that. My all-time favorite setting spray is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I love it because it has temperature control technology, which is exactly what we're trying to defeat, is the heat, of course. So be sure to set your makeup, because this is going to be the tell-all. And that's it for this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I wanted to just share some helpful hints and tips that I myself use all the time, because I work outside, I dance outside, and I live in Florida, and that should be pretty self-explanatory as to why I've gotten pretty good at getting my foundation to stay on in this heat. So if you found this at all helpful, be sure to let me know in the comments down below, but I will see you all next week. Bye, everybody. Wait, don't forget to also like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you can get a notification of every new video that I post. All right, now bye.